Today, something real. 5 core steps. I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to show you how to build one.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Your story has value. Turn that value into income. It is telling me you are now live. What's going on, family? Welcome. All are welcome. It's your brother, your coach, your guide, Tony the Tycoon, and welcome back to another powerful episode of Gridiron Gains. Today, we're tackling something real, something transformational. I didn't say transformers. I said transformational. Listen, this one's called Profit While You Sleep, the 5 core steps to monetize your story. Now, look, I'm not here to sell you a dream, guys. I'm here to show you how to build one off of what you already lived through. See, your story has value. Your experiences, your pain, your process, your breakthrough, they're all currency. In the digital world, man, I'm telling you guys, it's the most scalable way to turn that value into income, impact, and legacy. Let me start with this. People don't pay for information, guys. They pay for perspective. They pay for transformation, and they pay to have their problem solved. And your life has given you perspective that someone out there is praying for. You don't need to be a millionaire or have a massive following to monetize your story. You just need clarity, confidence in a system. In other words, you don't need perfection. You need perspective and a process. You see, there are people right now looking for someone who's been through what you've been through, who want to avoid the mistakes you made, who need your wisdom, not your highlight reel, your honest truth. Take Simone Biles, for example. She transformed her personal struggles into a powerful advocacy platform by openly prioritizing her mental health on the world stage. She sparked a global conversation that empowered athletes to speak up. Some of you may or may not know, and if you don't, you're going to learn something today. But Shanda Rubin, she was a former world top 10 tennis player, turned her athletic career into a new arena of influence. She launched the Shanda Rubin Foundation to mentor youth through tennis and education, and she reinvented herself as a Tennis Channel commentator right after retiring. I need the athletes that are watching this, because we're going to have all different types of people watching it, but the athletes, how many people have asked you, what was it like in the league, collegiately or professionally? Or how did you bounce back after being cut or transferring? See, that's content. That's a course. That's a workbook. Women athletes, you've overcome things in silence for years, from juggling new NIL deals with academics to battling identity loss after sport. Your voice is needed. Your story heals. Your experience guides. Look at the greats who have done it and realize you have the same potential. The only difference is they started telling their story. And guess what? You can too. And guys, this is not hard. There's simplicity in this process. And so here's where most people get stuck. They overcomplicate the process. They think it has to be fancy or high tech. Let me break it down and simplify the process into a few key steps for you guys. Look, find your angle. Really? You know what I mean? Just find your angle. What's your story really about? Is it overcoming injury? Is it finding your faith? Is it transitioning careers? Think about what people ask you about the most. That's your angle. So let's package that. And then what you can do is you can turn that angle into a simple digital offer. This could be an ebook or a PDF guide. It could be a video series or a webinar replay, an online course or a workshop recording, right? Here's an example. How about 5 mindset shifts I had to make after the game? Bang. That's your product idea. You're welcome. I'm giving value on Gridiron Gains. This is what you're going to do. You're going to host it. You don't need a custom website to start. Use ready-to-go platforms like Kajabi or Teachable to host your content. Even simpler, you can do a private Vimeo video plus a Stripe payment link. You know, that can be your product delivery system and checkout system. The next thing you got to do is you got to promote it, man. Leverage whatever audience you have. A lot of you guys have a big following, a big audience. Post about it on Instagram. Share it with old teammates on Facebook. Email it to your friends and family. If a few people have ever DM'd you asking for advice, guess what? You already have an audience. The next thing you got to do is you got to automate it. Set it up once and let it work while you're asleep. That's the beauty of digital product. You stop trading time for money. The content delivers value on autopilot, and you wake up to notifications of income, value, and impact. Now, let me be honest, and I gotta be 100 with you guys. My first digital product was far from perfect. There was no fancy funnels like I have now, no camera crew like we have in here today, but it was real, it was raw, and it solved a problem. And that first sale, guess what? That was the fire, right? That was the fire because it showed me what was possible. I looked at that and was like, we're gonna be rich. And look, the best part is I didn't have to be famous. I just had to be faithful. Set it up with intention and let it run. The refinements can come later. Like even on this show, you guys can see that there have been things that we've continued to elevate, and we will continue to elevate and make mistakes. It's okay, guys, we're human, right? So let's talk about the payoff. Imagine waking up to an email that says you made a sale. You didn't run an ad, right? You didn't hop on a Zoom. You didn't actively pitch anyone. You were just out living your best life. And yet your value was still working for you. That's legacy income. It's what I call income with integrity. You're not scamming or selling fluff. You're giving real insight from your real life and your real experience and getting paid for genuinely helping others. And I've witnessed countless examples of this kind of payoff in action. Athletes who were dead broke have turned their stories into profitable coaching programs, teaching others what they learned from their hardships. This is why we can never look at adversity as a woe is me situation. A lot of times God uses that adversity to help you write your story to give him the glory. Moms who's lost everything, they've built six-figure brands by sharing how they rebuilt their lives, turning their mess into a message that others draw strength from. You have superstars like Maya Moore, who literally went from the hardwood to the courtroom. She stepped away at the peak of her WNBA career to fight for a wrongfully convicted man's freedom. Her multi-year campaign succeeded in overturning this guy's conviction and freeing him from prison. If that's not impact and value, guys, I don't know what is. This was the making of a national headline, proving that purpose can become a movement beyond the game. Even in my own life, I've seen myself, a former NFL player, Super Bowl and national champion who was cut from teams and counted out, build a brand that helps other athletes find purpose after the game, right? Purpose after the pain, right? As a matter of fact, if you're looking for that, I want to plug my people. Go to gofreeagent.com. This isn't just about money. It's about meaning. It's about turning what almost broke you into what builds others, turning your tears into tools, your breakdown into someone else's breakthrough blueprint. Let me ask you, wouldn't it be worth it to know that everything you've been through had a purpose? Wouldn't it be worth it to take your experience and turn it into income that lives beyond you? That's what digital products can do. Digital assets can do this. They turn your past into someone else's pathway. Now look, I can already hear some of you guys with the doubts creeping in. We got to overcome these objections. Objections like what? But I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not tech savvy. Who will want to listen to me? Let me tell you what I know. And let me tell you what I've told every client that I've worked with. Your voice may not be for everyone, but it's for someone. And that someone is waiting on you to open your mouth. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Launch messy if you have to. You can always get help with the tech or polish things later, but you cannot afford to keep silent. God has positioned you to serve somebody, and you have to become the person to do the thing in order to have the life, because if not, they're not going to get served the way they're supposed to get served, because you're supposed to serve them. And I get it. Fear might feel like it's protecting you from failure, but really it's robbing you of your purpose. Here's the plain truth. If you've overcome adversity, you've got wisdom someone else needs. If you've built something or you've bounced back from a setback and have a process others can learn from, if you've lost and then found a way in again, you carry strength that can inspire and guide others. Look, don't wait till everything is perfect. Start with what you have right now. Clarity comes from movement, not meditation. Take action and the confidence will follow. And understand the learning happens in the doing. That's the only way we can learn. So, all right, family, you know I got to give a call to action. It's time to stop waiting and to start building. So if you're fired up and you're ready to monetize your message, here's your next play. I want you to download the Legacy Starter Kit. I want you guys to go to statebooks.com/legacy and grab your Legacy Starter Kit today. This is your playbook to get clear on your purpose, structure your story, and start building your digital product empire today. Inside, what you're going to find are exercises to define your mission, outline your system, and begin laying the bricks of your brand legacy. The next thing I need you to do, join the Stat Legacy League Facebook group, guys. This community is not for bystanders, though. So if that's what you are, it's not going to be for you. This is for action takers. This is for people that want to connect with other athletes, building their brands and businesses. We're going to share real strategies, real results, and I'm going to drop exclusive tips in there that I don't share anywhere else. See, you want to surround yourself with like-minded players who will hold you accountable, but also cheer you on your journey, right? And then next, if you're ready to get going, book your stat strategy session. See, when you're ready for a personalized game plan, this is where you can book a one-on-one strategy session with our team. And in this session, what we'll do is we'll map out your brand, your message, and your money-making system together. What'll happen is you're going to walk away with a concrete plan to implement immediately. No fluff, just a clear roadmap, a clear playbook. Look, guys, don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the league to call. Don't wait for someone else to validate your vision. Legacy starts when you decide. Let's build this thing. Let's monetize your message. And let's make sure you profit while you sleep. I'm Tony the Tycoon, and this has been another power-packed episode of Gridiron Gains. So if this message hits home, do me a favor. Share it with a teammate. Share it with a friend. Post about it. Tag your guy. Let me know that I'm doing something that you guys are learning from. Let the world know that the next season of your life is going to be bigger than the last. Because remember, your story didn't end when the game did. That was just halftime. Now it's time to execute the next play. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you for listening to this guy, right? And until next time, keep grinding, keep gaining. We'll see you at the top. Run well, young lions and young lionesses. Tony the Tycoon. I'm out.